on, everybody? Movie Phantom here, and guess what? Monday, got some horror news for you. All right, let's just dive right in. So I guess Dave Duchovny, he did an interview. Now it's right now everybody's just talking X-Files, and he kind of gave the reason why they are. I need to get this down. I picked up something and just started playing with it like a child, I swear. When they asked him, they kind of asked him, why are they just doing 6 episodes with the X-Files instead of like a full season or, another movie? And he didn't really quite answer. It was just like he was kind of like piecing together kind of thing. At least from the interview, I didn't see the clip. I was reading in the article, but it seemed like he was more like Fox kind of dropped the ball on the X-Files. I want to believe, which I totally agree. Was not a fan of that movie. Loved the first movie. Thought the first movie was actually really solid, but they didn't care for the second one. And so he thinks that the fans would just be leery of a third X-Files movie, as opposed to a series. But he said that, just the fact that TV has kind of evolved since then, whereas like now you got shows that are, I guess, more in the miniseries type, or they're more continual. The storylines are, the story arcs keep going, as opposed to just like watching I don't know. Well, I guess like X-Files, there was that overarching story. There was a lot of like standalone. So he said basically instead of having these individual episodes of just where you'd have like one episode that would focus on like the conspiracy, but then like next one they're fighting like the Jersey Devil, but then they go back to conspiracy. It's like they're taking out all the side stories and just give you the story arc in their 6 episodes. So, which I like that. It's all killer no filler, and I do dig that that mentality, that thought process. So yeah, no, I'm okay with that. I really am. It's almost like you're getting a movie here anyways. I mean, 6 episodes, I'm okay with that. I really am. So. This ain't even really news, but it was on, and I was like, it's kind of cool. I mean, I like the idea, but they announced that the T-Rex that they're using, the animatronic one, in the Jurassic World, it's the same T-Rex that was in like the exact same one that was in in the first Jurassic Park movie, and I guess like they're going to incorporate that as like the story as well. Like it's going to be the same T-Rex from the movie as well, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool, because they said like literally when they looked at it, it's aged since then. And they're like, we didn't even try to clean it up. Like, we're going to try to, incorporate that look. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome right there. I like that, So, I don't know. Pretty cool. Which, I mean, off topic real quick, or not really off topic, but, with the news for a second. I keep watching more trailers for Jurassic World. I'm getting more excited. Like, I can't help it. I cannot fucking help it. It looks really good. So, yeah, I'm very pumped to see this one. This will probably be one I'll check out in theaters. So, now I didn't even know, like, this like, way they worded this, it's like people already knew this shit. I had no idea, but apparently there was going to be a Omen TV series, Damien, and that was one of mine I picked from whatever, and I thought that's kind of cool. I was like, holy shit, they're actually making the Omen TV series. Initially, it was supposed to be on Lifetime. Womp womp. I was like, really? Like, why? However, it has been moved to A&E, home with like Bates Motel and shit. So I'm like, that's cool. And they added 4 more episodes. Apparently they only have 6. Now you get an extra 4, so we got 10. We got 10 episodes coming for Damien. So really curious. Omen is like one of my favorite movies of all time. So really, this may be one I'll definitely check out as well. So really curious. And on the remake front, they're remaking Don't Look Now. I don't know how I feel about this. Because in all honesty, I'm like, well, the original was so good. I love the original Don't Look Now. I think it's fucking almost damn near flawless. Why remake it? Like, what are they really going to do? I don't think it'll have that same feel. Because the first one was so, especially when we get to the end, I remember when I watched it, it wasn't that confused me, but I had to pay attention. Like, it wasn't like, because it's a murky ending, and it's not that complex, but at the same time, it does kind of, like, because the movie seems very straightforward, and then it kind of delves into, like, this kind of premonition-y kind of, whatever. And so I feel like they'll, like, I don't know, with this remake, I feel like it will be definitely more straightforward, or they'll try to overcomplicate it. I don't know. I generally get irritated when they make remakes, but this is one of them, like, I don't give a fuck, like, we'll still have the original. We'll always have the original. That's the one thing everybody should realize when it comes to remakes. You will always have your original, so let the studios try to make their money, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how, right now it's just announced. We'll see who gets cast and everything. So, tell you right now, you won't have that ridiculous sex scene in there. Oh my god! And if you do, it'll be probably toned down. It'll probably be a PG-13 movie. So, fucking, you want to see some hot Donald Sutherland? Who was the girl? Christy something? I can't remember. You want to see some hardcore fucking action? There you go. Some Donald Sutherland loving right there. Out of Australia or New Zealand, for my brothers over there from down under, don't get me. I know when you call, they mention it in Death Proof, but it's so fucking true because I have a friend that, or I didn't have a friend, but he coworker that was from Australia, and I was just, we constantly said he was from New Zealand because he would get all tore up and everything. But it was like a legit thing, like you don't ever, that's just like a no-no there. But anyway, it's from one of them, so it's either Australia or New Zealand. A little horror film called I Survived a Zombie Apocalypse. And they're saying this could be like, this decade's Shaun of the Dead. Like, it actually looks funny, but it's really good. Like, I know like after Shaun of the Dead, they try to capitalize on comedic zombie things. Recently, it's added like The Walking Deceased or something like that, which I haven't seen. I haven't even seen a trailer for it, but yes, I mean, we've always got, zombies is huge right now, so it only makes sense to, I'm kind of hoping this will end the cycle. Like, honestly, I'm getting a little sick of zombies right now, and even though I know Resident Evil came out before, I feel like with Shaun of the Dead, it really kicked it into high gear. Like, once Shaun of the Dead came out, and around the same time that, the remake for Dawn of the Dead came out and everything, it seemed like that was almost like the start of the cycle, Like, I guess you can argue like, well, it was back with Resident Evil. It was like, yeah, but no one ever watched Resident Evil go, alright, zombies are back. No, that did not fucking happen. It wasn't until these fuckers started running in the Dawn of the Dead, and they're like, well, now zombies are back. And they were, and they have not left yet. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe, Shaun of the Dead was one of the originals that kind of brought it back. Maybe this will close it out. Maybe this will close the loop. I mean, and I'd be okay with that. Like, as much as I love zombies, I remember as a kid thinking, I wish we had another zombie cycle. Like, I missed out because, like, I was a fucking toddler shit when, like, the Romero, well, I wasn't even born when the Romero ones, but, like, you had that Italian cycle of zombie movies, and, even in the 80s, they kind of came back with Day of the Dead and Return of the Living Dead. So, but I missed all that. So I was like, I kept hoping, like, I wish we had, an awesome zombie cycle. And now we're in the midst of one. I'm just like, oh, I'm done. I'm out. I'm sick of it. Why aren't slashers coming back? That's the one I want to see come back. Got a couple sequels coming out there. We got Unfriended, which was made for like $20, and apparently it made more than that. So they're like, hey, if you're going to do an Unfriended sequel, because I wasn't a fan of the first one, it had nothing to do with the fact that it was found footage, but I think you need to step away from found footage on this one. If you're going to do a sequel, let's move on to like a traditional type of film. Hopefully they'll correct what was wrong with the first one. I'm not going to go into that right now because I've already did my review. You can watch that in my videos. But yeah, I know, Unfriended 2. Probably won't go pay to see it. I made that mistake with the first Unfriended, but it'll definitely be a Netflix or a Redbox movie. Saw the first glimpse of Casey Jones from the new Turtles movie, the sequel. And, dude, I kind of like his look. I know it's not horror, but, dude, his mask is so badass. Like, it literally has, like, almost like a Jason X, but with, like, not metal, obviously. Like, it's still like a hockey mask. It looks fucking awesome. Like, it looks badass as shit. So, I don't know. As much as, like, the first Turtles movie, or, sorry, the remake, it wasn't great. I'll tell you right now, it was not great at all. It's so fucking Michael Bay-ish. I know it seems like, oh, come on, fam, we know you have a grudge. Yes, I do have a grudge, and it's reasons like this. Because it felt like, literally, I know he was just producer. I don't think he produced it. I will come out and say it right now, that motherfucker directed that movie. Because remember, if you remember correctly, he was going to direct it, and everybody had a shit fit online. And what did he do? He stepped back. He's like, all right, I'm not going to direct it. We got this guy he's going to direct it. And I guarantee it, he pulled the Spielberg poltergeist move, and he just pushed the guy to the side, and he's like, I got this. I'm going to direct it without these motherfuckers knowing it. And you can tell. I mean, it literally, it's everything that's bad about a Bay movie, but you know what? I'm such a Turtles fan that I can't go any lower than this with it. I can't. I want to do this, because, like, fuck you, Bay. but I can't. I'm stuck right here. I'll see part 2. May not watch it in theaters, but I'll check it out. I mean, you got Bebop and Rocksteady coming back, but I'm sure with Michael Bay, you know, at the helm, he'll be. And I was like, he's not directing it. He's fucking directing it. Trust me. Even if his name's not attached to direct it, that faggot's behind the camera going, listen, this is what we're going to do. And he's going to probably have him speaking all gangster rap and just make it so offensive. It's going to be ridiculous. But whatever. Hey, I'll check it out. But Casey Jones looks badass. I'm digging the look. So if anything else, they'll have that going for us. So Cube is being remade. I reviewed Cube a long time ago during that first run, and you know, I really like it. Well, it's being remade, and it's entitled Cubed. Put a D at the end of that bad boy. Once again, it's one of those movies where I'm like, you know, I'm not against it being remade. I think you'll never top the charm of the first one because it was such a low-budget movie. The fact that it was filmed in just one cube, they just kept changing the colors to give you the impression that they're, you know, moving from cube to cube. The fact that, you know, it was a surprise hit. Like the fact that literally as you're watching it, or I guess, you know, when it came out, it was like, you wouldn't expect this thing to, it wasn't like, it didn't like bank or anything, but it definitely got its cult following like, instantly. Like right out the gate, it had a cult following. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I still haven't seen Cube Zero. I saw the second Cube, Hypercube, and if you remember correctly, I did a review for that as well, and I liked it. I thought it was definitely, it was better the second time I watched it than the first time. Yeah, I'll check out Cube. I will. I would kind of hope they do the whole, almost like a Star Trek type reboot, remake, where, because like with Star Trek, you know, it's almost like it works as a prequel to the other one. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like it fits in with the other movies. You know, yeah, or even like a, I don't know. I kind of hope they kind of tie it in with the first one. Like almost like they somehow, you see the guy. And spoiler alert, but you know, you had the mentally challenged guy, but he could do math really good. You know, maybe bring him back, or you know, the character at least, and you know. Like, oh shit, it's actually a sequel. They're rebooting the series, but yeah, it's still technically a sequel. Like, I hope they go that route with it, but you know, whatever. They're gonna do their thing. Ouija 2. Ouija 2. Yeah, all right. It's one of those that I liked the first one. I thought it was a decent movie. It wasn't great, but it didn't deserve the shit that everybody was piling on top of it. Like. I remember that came out when I was still gone. Like the Phantom was not back yet. But I came on YouTube and I was just checking out everybody else's reviews. And people just like taking a big healthy shit on it. And I was like, really? Like, yes, I mean, the flaws are there. It's very glossy. It's very new. You know, aimed at the tween crowd. The fact that it was, you know, just very... It wasn't scary, but I thought it was consistent. You know, like I remember because it came out around the same time Annabelle came out. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like, Annabelle, I thought started off awesome. And then just by the time the end got there was just no scares left. Like, it was just, I don't know. I don't know what happened. It just lost it all. This one stayed consistent throughout. Like, it wasn't, maybe it wasn't high. Like, you know, it's, like with Annabelle, it started up here. And then just kind of tapered down. Whereas Ouija's down here in the scare department, but it's this all the way through. So, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Probably won't pay to see it. I'll, you know, wait for it to come out on Netflix or... I mean, it's also paid to see it, but you know what I mean. Not paying the, you know, $8.50 or what the hell tickets are up to now. And finally, I just needed an extra one to give me my 10th story, and this is what I came up with right here. And this is how they printed it on BloodyDisgusting.com. They printed the fact there was no more news on Scream 5. Apparently, people were dropping shit early on in the week about Scream 5 and how, like, you know, like it was supposed to be like some big news, but apparently like a lot of sites was like recopying this, like they were kept, you know, repeating the stories, but it was an old story from like 2-3 months ago. So there has been no new development. So Bloody Disgusting went ahead and they delved into a little bit more and talked to him over at that Dimension, or is Dimension still around? Or whoever fucking has the rights to Scream, talked to them, and what they're talking is, it's like on the back burner right now. Like, they're not even worried about Scream 5 because of the Scream TV series. Like, they're going to kind of gauge that, see how it does. And so right now, Scream 5 is looking like it's probably not going to happen. So, which I don't know. I didn't care for 4, so maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's for the best. Yeah, so there you go. All right, guys. Well, there's your weekly dose of the news. You got any comments or want to talk about any of these, topics? Hey, hit me up. I'm over on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. You can chat me over there. Don't chat with me on Twitter, actually. I fucking don't like Twitter. I'm hanging on. It's just like the stragglers that are kind of coming along. They're hitting me up on Twitter. But for the most part, for the core audience that I have been lucky enough to have gathered, fuck Twitter. Don't worry about it. Facebook. You guys are friends with me on Facebook. For those who maybe are not friends with me on Facebook, I think I'm on my YouTube channel. But if not, the name is Trent Ramsey. It's a bullshit, bogus name. But yeah, Trent Ramsey, movie fan. And yeah. We'll talk it up. We'll talk it up. Talk Ouija and Unfriended. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's all I got. So, movie fandom, and